Hi everyone, I hope you're having a good day. I realize this is just one of those days where I'm gonna post a bunch of readings, and some days I do that and some days I don't post at all. But usually I've been trying to post something at least every other day because I'm not sure why. I think I like the routine and continuity, as I mentioned. It's also weirdly a tracker of like your own vibrational state. You're like, oh, I was there then, and then you're like, oh, I was there then, because like I'm obviously not like a huge creator. That takes a long time, and I'm not saying that could never happen for me, but I'm also like not very cookie cutter, so I don't see myself getting some huge following. I see this more as creative artistic expression and service for anyone who wants it. And I do offer readings if you're interested. It's $45 for 45 minutes, pre-recorded or Zoom. And I offer one free question if you want to email me. My email is below. So this is a reading. I had some fancy schmancy philosophical stuff that I was gonna say, and the gist of those things, which I will put the quotes of the original, like where they come from, below, because no one's gonna know who these people are and no one cares anyway. Here's the quotes that I channeled, and I won't bore you with the long details because we have limited time, because I have messages for you. So first, prayer is focus, focus is prayer, basically is the gist of it, and that is by Simone Weil. I'll write who she is below. Another one is, the best plan is no plan, and that doesn't mean having no structure. And that's by John Dewey. And again, this is all paraphrasing. I'll write the real quotes below. And I'll write who these people are. And then the next thing I was thinking of was, I was thinking of several things, but what came to mind was a line from the Maya Angelou poem, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. That may be just a line to let that resonate with you, like, as it will right now. I'm sorry for the background noise. I'm not gonna do anything about it though. But so thanks for being here with me, and let's get into the reading. So just keeping those things in mind. I don't know how they'll come into the reading, but the best plan's no plan, focus is prayer, and I know why the caged bird sings, and maybe they'll come up. So this is there's somebody coming through here for you, and the message is being guided by your guides and my guides, and it's a channeled message, and it's from another person who is currently alive, actually. And I think that there's some sort of tumult. I'm hearing the word tumult. I just saw penguins in my mind's eye. Sorry, this is bothering me. This is the sweater. I'm just gonna get this out of the way. Penguins, they say they mate for life. But also, sometimes I feel like when people are in the Arctic, they intervene with penguins. Like, I saw this really cute video, which I'll try to find and post of like these penguins getting stuck, and then these people built this like sort of like track for them to get up this mountain and get to escape. I think I'm saying that sometimes relationships need guidance, whether that's a counselor or because they're in pairs, the penguins. Even if they're in a group, they're like paired off, which is really cute. I think I'm saying you may need help with how you're relating, not just therapy or psychoanalysis or psychiatrist or psychologist or whatever. Maybe it's just like a healer, like a Reiki or shaman. I'm sensing that you're like seeking some help in some way. And I sense that it's because of some sort of loss, like you may be framing it as like, oh, it's because of this other thing in my life. But the deeper reason is because you feel, and maybe you haven't even expressed this to the healer, you feel very left alone without somebody who was very important to you. I don't know exactly what the relationship was, but this person does have things they want to say to you, and I want to delve into what the dynamic was also. So I think that first we'll just get a couple cards about what happened here with you and this person. So I think this person had, at a certain point, exhausted their speech with you. Like they felt like nothing they said was helpful, and that, see, I'm an intuitive reader. A lot of people read differently, but I read not only what the suit means, but also what I feel. So they and you know, I've memorized all the card meanings, so I could tell you what this means literally, but I'm also telling you what I feel, which is that they felt like they didn't have the power to tell you what they felt, okay? And I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's from some external reason. Maybe they were limited in their speech for some ways. Okay, now I'm channeling because I start stuttering when I channel. Okay, King of Wands. This person had like mega big, maybe like macho energy, or like maybe very like sexy. I'm sensing like a male energy, or maybe this is you. Maybe you're like a very like, you know, sexy person, and you're male. So whether it's about this person or you are this person, that there's someone here who is the male, who is very stereotypically attractive and has a very just like energetic presence, and a very I would say an intense presence. You are in a time where being alone is important to you, but it's also like you're not settled in your aloneness. Like maybe you were forced into being independent, and you're not really financially abundant, and you're struggling, and also you're at the end of like you're coming out of a defeat period. And this person may also be. And I think that there was also some verbal sparring sort of that happened here. But I want to get into some of this person's heart space, because it feels like there's some information there for us. It feels very hard to breathe. It feels like this person gets actually short of breath around you. So I don't know if this is maybe a love reading, maybe like someone who has very repressed feelings. So this might be someone who, when they see you, like stumbles with their words, or like maybe like actually hyperventilates, or like is just excited, or like their heart flutters. They see you as very strong, and they really commend you for your strength, and they also see that you don't really take shit from people, and you don't really and not that you're mean, but like, you know, this is about like, this is someone opening the jaws of a lion. So it's like about that sort of encounter with fear. Like they see you in that way. Like maybe you haven't known your own strength, okay? And they didn't either. You know, I just want to share, I really believe in dream symbolism, and I had this recurring dream for years that I didn't know what it meant, and then I did a lot of research, and it's just coming up here that it was that I was climbing a mountain, sometimes alone and sometimes with my sister, and it was like a round and round mountain, sort of like in a cartoon. And then there was a part where you had to go through the middle, and I would encounter this lion and be like shocked, and remember feeling this shock in the dream, but it wouldn't ever try to hurt me. And you know, a lot of people say in dreams everything we encounter is a reflection of ourselves. So I over time began to realize that was encountering my own strength and realizing how strong I am. And then I stopped having that dream because I think it wasn't a shock to me anymore. It was just like, I own this archetype of the lion now, you know, king of the jungle, king of the prowl. Okay. I've had to be that way in my own life for my own reasons. Lioness. I chose the word king, but I mean, really, I'm a queen. Okay, so public reputation reversed. So maybe something happened to you that affected your reputation, at least periodically, or maybe their reputation was affected by the dynamic. But I think that like both of you were trying to hold on to things that no longer served you in your lives. Ooh, that hit a hot spot for me in the heart space. This person's heart, when I look at the, like, scan it, like their body, it's like all bandaged up and all like wounded, and there's like a lot of pain and a lot of things they try to hide from you, but I feel like a deep feeling in them that they would like to be healed by your love, and they could feel that that was being offered. There's a quote in the Old Testament that's like, he takes the brokenhearted and bandages up their wounds, and it's talking about God, not yet Jesus, obviously, because it's Old Testament. You know, I am a Catholic and I love Jesus, obviously, but and Mary, I connect mostly with Mary because that's my gateway to Jesus, and then Jesus is the gateway to God. But then I think that is one thing that lacks a lot, that in I guess just Christianity, that we don't focus, although some like Pentecostal faiths maybe do. There's less focus on the direct connection with God himself. I think this person put you in connection with that because you may have been afraid of seeing God. This person showed you God somehow. Through conversation, I'm getting, through presence, through maybe some sort of shamanic healing that was maybe even nonverbal. Okay, we got strength again, but this time reversed. Yes, this person had like weakness. Maybe they actually had like a heart problem or some sort of physical ailment, or you did. But what they feel, see, there's a lot of barriers in their heart, so they're not really letting me get in. I'm like trying with my sort of, I believe in astral projection and Reiki, and I'm trying to steady the sort of nervous system here and get some insight, sort of like Miss Frazzle's School Bus. If you ever watched that show when you were a little kid, I forget what it's called, The Magic School Bus. But I'm envisioning it in my mind, but I can see this person is very busy with minute tasks helping people around them, and they try to busy themselves not to think about you. Or maybe it's not people around them, maybe it's just like an animal or animals, or just like maybe small tasks that they are trying to make their lives better, like maybe they're doing administrative tasks, and a lot of it is to not think about you or what happened or the dynamic because it's too painful, and they're not even letting me see, and they're not even letting themselves see what happened here. But I think that actually there was a sort of deep love here that they had to temper. Temperance card. Temperance is the Sagittarius card. Sagittarius, excuse me, is the sign of the philosopher and relates to horses. And well, I love the quote, "Sit loosely on the saddle of life" by Robert Louis Stevenson. I don't know if I've shared that here. But I think this person may have taught you to sit a little more loosely on the saddle of life, that we don't know what's going to happen. Be here now kind of thing. Maybe they were into some hippie spiritual stuff. Or maybe they rejected all sort of doctrines, and that was very different. There's still something I'm being like pushed by the energies to not see what's really going on here. I really want some deeper insight as to the true dynamic of their feelings and also your feelings. Oh. Okay, so this person's coming out of a poverty, and maybe you are too, and also maybe both leaving family situations that, or within family situations that are toxic or negative, or maybe both come from toxic family systems. So that's the sort of playing fields, but that's what's guarding the feelings, is this almost, when people have backgrounds like that, there's almost a fear of intimacy. So maybe the quick intimacy and sort of seeing God through each other was romantic. It was, what else was it? I keep getting the Strength card. I'm a different kind of reader. I like letting the cards regurgitate because it means Spirit's speaking loud. So now I'm hearing that not only that they admire your strength, you made them strong. Ooh, that makes me want to cry. You made them strong, okay? You made them open the lion's jaws and look in at their fears. And I think that's something they actually used to do at circuses in the olden days. And also you made them say, what can I do? What can I do with my life? How can I be better? How can I find a skill or work with others to plan to make a better situation? So those are some of the practical things you both, I think, spurred within each other. And how do you feel actually about this person? Let's see, how do you feel? Then we're going to go back to how they feel, and then we're going to close. How do you feel? How do you feel about this person? Okay. You feel like they're a hermit, and they're very within themselves, but they also have a higher knowledge. They have a lot to share. You also feel like this person has a skill or something to contribute that's, maybe having to do with the mind or hands, or you feel like this person opens up the heart space for you, like they make you feel abundant. They make you feel rich. They make you feel like money doesn't matter, like you're rich with what you have, which is a really cool feeling that you haven't had. But I don't think this person doesn't care about money. They want money and stuff, but I think that they showed you in the beauty of the relationship that's the rich depth. That's the money spot. Is love, money can't buy me love, as the Beatles say. Okay, I want to get a little bit of just some info about I'm seeing them pacing around. I'm seeing them feeling, or maybe driving around, maybe in circles. Maybe they drive a lot. And they're thinking about you, this person. And they're, I think they do worry about you, but I think it's a situation where their judgment told them to not interfere. It was like a laissez-faire situation, you know? They were like, I'm not gonna be a hindrance to this person's growth. I don't even know where that came out of. I wasn't even thinking of saying anything like that. But I don't think you saw them that way. I think that maybe there was some just bad communication things happening, but I think truly in your heart there's like a deep, let's get the card for it, there's a deep intuition here about, what is there, a deep intuition? Oh, family. And maybe you feel that you're meant to have a family with this person. Like, you've never seen that with someone, and maybe you got psychic hits right away that you would trust them to do that stuff with them. Ooh, it's kind of beautiful. I'm even feeling that maybe you said things like, if I had a partner and I had a kid, I would want them to do this. And then they like tried to exemplify like, oh, you know, I do things like that. Which is very sweet. I mean, not like, maybe like a couple weeks later they'd be like, oh, well, you know, I was doing this, because they want you to know that they like are responsible, and they would be like there, and they would care, and whatever else you have in your life that you're committed to, they would be committed to too, because they care about you, and they would like make it work. Because the thing is, they see that you would have to leave something. You would have to leave something behind and change something and walk away. But you may not know that they already have, or it might be vice versa. They may not know that you have walked away. So one of you has walked away from, a situation, and the other would need to walk away from a situation to make this a reality. I keep getting this card, but I keep not pulling it, but it must be meaningful here. I think there's a financial opportunity maybe that will change the whole dynamic for everyone in this situation and make this a possibility. But yeah, I really feel, I'm seeing someone cooking a lot of soup and someone drinking a lot of coffee. So the coffee person, I don't know who's who, is very anxious, and they're using that as a stimulant to like calm themselves, like, which sounds counteractive, but it can be calming. Just one cup can cause a counteractive effect for anxiety and make you calm, like they would give, like, it's like a very poor man's ADHD pill. It hits you from sideways. It's not the right part of the brain, but it does something like that. And the other person is like, maybe not necessarily soup, maybe it's like smoothies or like juices, or like the other person is like very, I don't know if they're like on a cleanse, but like something's going on with their digestion, and they're like trying out some, like, I can see them like fiddling with like different like things in the kitchen, and maybe they're not really a cook, so they're just like effing around. Like maybe they're just like making blender things that are like food processor things, like sauces, and everyone's like, what are you doing? Or like whoever they live with is like, maybe roommates, or it's like, what are you doing? But they're actually, it's not even about what they're making. Yes, maybe it's like a healthy, juicy smoothie that's really good for them, but it's about getting their mind off of you. Wow, this person is very fixated on you, and actually you're fixated on them too, and you are in the same headspace. Okay, I don't think this ended very well. Sometimes when there's a lot of intensity and feelings and energy, a lot of stuff comes out, especially if people are going through tough things in their lives and they're reactive, or they're like dysregulated. People, and I think also, I was gonna say people, you know, act badly at the end. Okay, so there's blocked communication, because I think there's been some betrayal here, maybe on both sides, and there was like a necessary ending, and just some backstabbing and maybe painful stuff. But there was like somebody couldn't let go, and maybe still can't. And also, somebody didn't want to offer somebody didn't want to take what was being offered. I don't think it was you. I think that you were in no, actually don't. I think that both of you, yes, okay. This is what it is. Both of you were too insecure to see how into each other the other was. Okay? Both of you were too much, oh, no one ever would ever like me, to see that this is relationship material. Okay? This also has to do with you becoming the Queen of Pentacles, even if you're a man. So, Queen of Pentacles is organized. I relate it to the sign of Capricorn. She's got her shit together. She's got her list. She's got her money. She's got her job. She's got her house. She's got her chores done. She's got her affairs in order. Her house is clean, bitch. Okay? And I don't know that you're in that place right now, because this was reversed when I picked it up. So I don't know. I think this needs to happen first. Get your house in order. That's in the Bible too. Get your shit together, okay? Get your shit together. I don't know what your shit is, but if you really want this to happen, if you want people to really, leave things behind and move towards each other and really like get out of La La Land, because I can see that this was a big seismic energetic thing. Like maybe there was like instant attraction, instant chemistry, instant feeling. If you really want that to happen, you gotta get some Queen of Pentacles stuff going on here. Get your shit together, okay? That lady is serious business, Queen of Pentacles. She does not F around. She's got her organization. It's locked down. Okay, so, and also Queen of Wands. This person sees you, if you are a female or a male, because I don't know who's watching. They see you, it doesn't really matter if you're female or male. They see you as like very sexy and very like empowered. And if you're a male, it's like you're not afraid to connect with the feminine energy, which is very like sexy to them, like a lot of men are like afraid to be emotional or afraid to be like even slightly flamboyant in any way. Like, I don't know, even just like a guy who like likes colors or like knows something about theater. It's like, yes, like we need more men. I think that you, if you're the man, are like that. And if you're the woman, they see you as like just sort of like really confident and really like, I don't really take shit from people. And also I burn up the fire of whatever BS is happening with truth, because I relate that to Sagittarius. Again, a lot of Sagittarius in this, which is a sign of truth and philosophy. So you may have discussed philosophy with this person. There may have been lies. There may have been things they because there may have been things that they didn't like tell you about themselves, or maybe it was a one-sided dynamic, or maybe there was something about them that was sort of like gruff. Okay, this person definitely wanted you. This is about something like ships coming in, someone waiting for ships to come in. And they wanted happy family life with you, happy money family life with you. I don't think you could see that they wanted you, actually. No matter what the situation was, like no matter what the circumstance was with either of you, I don't think they could see that was in your mind. I think maybe you have a great poker face, but I think that they wanted that with you. If you wanted it with them, they couldn't tell. They had a good poker face. Sorry, that got convoluted. I'm gonna get a final card here. The Tower reversed. That's not a good final card. Okay, there was competition here. Sorry. And with the Tower reversed, I feel like there was just miscommunication. And ultimately, there was a blocked flow of emotion at one point because it ended in a way where both people had to leave, had to part, but I think it was like earth-shattering, the experience, and I think this person is very passionate about you. Like, and they're growing sort of gardens to make their life better, to hopefully be the King of Pentacles, whether they're a man or a woman, to be financially prosperous. And also, I think this person has a lot of control issues. Maybe they were jealous of someone in your life. Maybe they didn't like how you had your life without them. Maybe they just like really wanted you. Maybe they're very possessive of you, like wanting you to be theirs. Sorry, this really is the final card. I said Jesus. Spirit, what final card do you have for us for the reading? No, that's not our card. I want a card relating to the Why the Caged Bird Sings, which I feel like we never addressed. I get that the Spirit focus is prayer, because you've both been focusing on each other, and that's a form of prayer. I get the best plan is no plan, because it seems like you're both like planners, and you didn't plan for this to happen, to meet each other. But I'm not getting the Why the Caged Bird Sings. Okay, this is a card of marriage and society, institutions, church. When it's reversed, it could mean divorce. Maybe this person has been a caged bird, or you has been a caged bird in a twisted dynamic with someone for a long time, where they were either financially dependent, or maybe multiple people. They were financially dependent or enmeshed, and they were a caged bird in their own life. And why does the caged bird sing? Because there's still beauty, and there's still the hope to be heard and be rescued. Also, you know, I think of canaries in mining caves, where the canary is the first one to feel the air shift if it goes bad. And so if the canary like screeches or dies, it's time for everyone to scramble and get back up. I think that you may have acted that way in each other's lives, where you were like, you need to change this, you need to change this isn't good because I care so much about you and I love you so much that if you don't change this, it's not gonna go better, it's not gonna go well. And then both of you were like, F you. But it was coming from love on both sides. So I think there's a lot of potential here actually for love and romance and beauty. And I think that, again, the best plan is no plan. And just realizing that, honoring that this person has felt very trapped in their life and maybe not very confident, and actually meeting you was like really changed their life. Even if it did end badly, even if there were like negative feelings, I think as time goes on, there will be a perspective shift for each person about just how meaningful this relationship was, that each person pushed the other to face their fears. And that's the reading.